one of humanity's greatest dreams, flying. But to achieve that, you either need to be a bird or a little crazy. Today, we bring two of history's boldest figures face to face. The legendary Ottoman sky pioneer, Hezarfen Ahmed Çelebi, and France's mad tailor, Franz Reichelt. Both men tried to fly with their own self-made capes. But who really succeeded? Who was the bravest? And who should have thought twice? Let's find out. For centuries, people dreamed of flying. Some built enormous wings, others tried balloons, and some just thought, if I put on this cape, I can totally fly. But history remembers two men who went to the extreme. One in 17th century Istanbul, and the other in early 20th century Paris. Both threw themselves into the sky, but their fates very different. Today, we pit these two pioneers against each other. Who really flew? Who crashed? And most importantly, how are they remembered today? Let's dive in. The year 1632. The place, the Ottoman capital, Istanbul. Hezarfen Ahmed Çelebi believes that humans can fly, and he's determined to prove it. He studies the movements of birds, examines Leonardo da Vinci's designs, and, according to some, even talks to pigeons. But theories aren't enough. He needs a real test, and he chooses the most dramatic spot, Galata Tower. The crowd gathers, holding their breath. Even Sultan Murad IV is watching, popcorn in hand. And then, Hezarfen spreads his massive wings and jumps. And there it is. He makes history. He soars across the Bosphorus and lands in Üsküdar, the first true pilot of the Ottoman Empire. But the Sultan is suspicious. This man is too smart, too capable. And what happens next? Hezarfen is exiled to Algeria. Apparently, if you fly, you attract too much attention. 300 years later, in France, a tailor decides that making clothes isn't enough. Franz Reichelt. He designs a parachute suit and announces that he will test it himself. His friends say, "Dude, maybe try it on a dummy first." But Reichelt says, "No, I'll do it myself." And the stage is set. The Eiffel Tower. The crowd is gathered, watching in suspense. Is this guy really going to jump? And then the big moment. He jumps from 60 meters high, but the parachute doesn't open, and bam, the dream of flying ends with a loud thud. He went down in history as the Flying Tailor, but unfortunately, he never actually flew. Let's compare. Preparation. Hezarfen spent months testing and researching. Reichelt. He trusted his sewing skills. Success. Hezarfen glided smoothly and landed safely. Reichelt, well, let's just say he landed with a thud. Legacy. Hezarfen became one of the most famous pilots in Ottoman history. Reichelt, he became an example of what not to do in aviation. But let's go a little deeper. If Hezarfen had failed, would the Ottoman Empire have banned all flight attempts forever? If Reichelt had succeeded, would fashion designers today be creating clothes that double as parachutes? Imagine a world where extreme sports started in the 1900s, and every tailor became an aviation engineer. And let's talk about bravery. Hezarfen had a good reason. He wanted to prove humans could fly. Reichelt? Well, he wanted to prove that he could make the ultimate flying coat by jumping off a tower himself. Was that determination or pure madness? Some say Reichelt's mistake wasn't the idea, but the execution. Modern parachutes work on the same principle, but his materials were too stiff, his suit too heavy, and his calculations, let's just say, not very precise. Meanwhile, Hezarfen used aerodynamics and natural gliding principles that actually worked. So who do you think was crazier? Who was braver? And who was actually successful? Tell us in the comments. Those who dared to fly are never forgotten. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and keep dreaming big. See you in the next one.